Today we're starting this deep dive with something really heavy, a truly shocking event out of northern Idaho. We're talking about an ambush, a tragic one involving firefighters. We've gathered the sources to try and understand what happened.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to pull out the key details, the most important nuggets of knowledge from everything we've seen, but also, maybe more importantly, to try and grasp the disturbing irony that sits right at the center of this whole tragedy. It's a tough one.
It really is. So the basic facts are these. It happened Sunday afternoon near Coeur up on Canfield Mountain. Two firefighters, Frank Harwood and John Morrison, were killed. Another, Dave Teasdale, was very seriously injured.
Right, though we hear he's stable now, which is, well, some small relief in all this.
Definitely. They were all responding to what seemed like a routine call, a brush fire. Looked minor at first. But digging into the sources, it becomes clear this was anything but routine. These firefighters, they were essentially lured into a trap. They showed up expecting to fight a fire.
And walked right into a deadly ambush. That's the chilling part. The reports say the perpetrator, a 20-year-old named Wess Roley, actually set that fire himself, apparently used a flint he found nearby.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the moment the fire crew arrived, he just opened fire, no warning. Sheriff Norris called it total ambush. He said point blank they never had a chance.
This actually just
calculated.
Horrifyingly so.
A calculated cold trap. Okay, so that's horrific enough. But then, when you look into Wess Roley himself, the story takes us this unbelievable turn. Get this. Roley, the attacker. He apparently used to idolize fire crews.
It's an absolutely staggering irony, isn't it? Sheriff Norris confirmed it. Roley's own grandfather, Dale Roley, said the same thing. He told investigators Wess had actively tried to get a job with a fire department. He wanted, quote, to be part of the team.
Want to be part of the team he then attacked. How do you even begin to wrap your head around that? You really can't easily. It forces you to ask what could possibly bridge that gap from admiration to this kind of violence. Investigators seem to think maybe a confrontation over where Roley had parked his vehicle. He was apparently homeless, living out of his car.
So maybe some sort of immediate trigger, but still.
Right. It feels like there has to be more going on beneath the surface. Background tells us he'd moved from Arizona, worked for his dad's tree trimming business here in Idaho since 2024. His mother had posted online just last fall he was doing great. And his police record was minor, mostly trespassing. It makes the sudden violence even harder to understand.
So the immediate aftermath described as just massive. Over 300 law enforcement officers descended on the area. We're talking snipers and helicopters, tactical teams, swarming Canfield Mountain. A huge response.
Understandably so. They initially weren't sure if it was just one shooter, right? They found weapons, a high-powered rifle, a shotgun, and bullet fragments at the scene.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty at first.
And then authorities tracked Roley's cell phone. They found his body. He had died by suicide. That confirmed he was the sole perpetrator. The fire itself, the Nettleton Gulch fire, grew to about 26 acres. But luckily, no homes were threatened, and they got it mostly contained.
Right.
And it's really important to mention this, too. Sheriff Norris made it very clear. Despite some stuff circulating online, there is no evidence linking Roley to any extremist groups. We really need to stick to the confirmed facts here, Avoid speculation.
Absolutely crucial. Meanwhile, flags across Idaho were lowered to half-mast. A whole community just reeling, grieving for Frank Harwood and John Morrison. So reflecting on this deep dive, what are we left with? Just profound sadness, obviously, for the firefighters lost. And this terrible, almost unbelievable irony. A young man who admired first responders, wanted to be one, turned a weapon on them.
It leaves us grappling with a really unsettling question, doesn't it? How does that kind of aspiration, that desire to belong, to serve, how does it twist into such horrific violence? What are the hidden pressures, maybe beyond just the immediate triggers, that can so drastically, tragically change someone's path, especially when it involves their own, deepest dreams? Something for you to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Please keep Frank Harwood and John Morrison in your thoughts.
Mama.
And send all your strength to Dave Tisdale and his family and loved ones.